We like to do prescribed fires because it's the right thing to do from the land. From a timber management, land management perspective, it's good for the land, it's safe, keeps us from using herbicides, so it's just another tool that we can use to take better care of the land.
This one is a pretty high trafficked area. We've had larger fires on this lake before, so just to keep this fuel load down that we'll be able to manage it without catastrophic damage later on. Prescribed fire, at different times, like I said, we call it site prep. You can prep the seed bed if you're planting trees, silviculture. You can enhance wildlife habitat. You can thin out some of the other trees, can eliminate competition so your crop trees can grow a little better. And then hazard reduction, which we're doing today. Reduce the fuel load for wildfires so they won't be as intense.
You know, the location of this track is highly trafficable by the public. It's an open hunting ground. The potential to have catastrophic wildfire here is extremely high. The fuel reduction part of it is extremely important. And obviously there's going to come the restoration of the ecosystem, and this is beneficial for the loblolly pine that's actually here and the growth potential that they could have.
Today we're going to be helping out District 3 do a prescribed burn on about 400 acres. Talking to them about their previous burn that they did on this area about 3 years ago. It took them about 2 days to do. Ideally, we're hoping we can get this burned in 1 day using the drone.
We're trying to do such a large area today at 400 acres. It's a lot of coves, a lot of extra walking. And here lately, we've been really limited on the resources as far as people. So the drone cuts us down almost to half the staff we need to actually burn this track.
It's a Alta X drone with Ignis system. It drops the balls to start prescribed fire or help with wildfire situations. We also use it for IR camera to detect hot spots or ground fire.
Basically, antifreeze gets injected into the ping pong balls, is what we call them, or dragon eggs, and then it creates a chemical reaction that after about 20-30 seconds, it will ignite the balls on fire. We have to go through FAA certification. We basically have to take kind of like the pilot license for like to fly aircraft and everything. Other than that, a lot of it is self-taught training through a online course that we went through.
With the Forest Service, we have our own rules and regulations, our guidelines. We have to notify the operations room and aviation, submit a flight plan with them. We also check to see if there's any restricted airspace or any other aircrafts around that we need to ground.
We also had to submit a pre-approval for Duke Energy, being that we're operating above a nuclear power plant in the vicinity of it.
It's a little more challenging because you got the Duke Energy. You have to line up with their security. Like today we're using the drone, we had to line up with like a whole flight plan with Duke Energy itself. They've been great to work with. They've been pretty simple, but that's that extra step or two we've had to take. Most of the time it's, you know, getting the contract signed, getting the burn plan read, getting the maps made, getting the resources all together as far as the people, the lighting, the equipment, and then waiting on the weather. We try to look for smoke impact so that we know where it's going to affect. It's always, smoke's got to go somewhere. So we try to send it a place that has as low impact as possible. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it too dry, because you'll kill the trees or it'll start becoming more and more intense as you light it.
In District 3, we burn typically 5,000 to 6,000 acres a year, and that can fluctuate obviously depending on weather. This year we're on course to do about 5,000, and that's typically a goal every year.
Prescribed fire is very useful out here. Some areas we can't cut because it's close to the lake, it's close to the houses, so we get a lot of complaints from trespassers, four-wheelers. So by using the fire, we can open access, and it's easy to do and it's good for the wildlife. I reached out to the Forest Service. We burnt this area several years ago, reached back out to the guys there at D3 in the county, and we've had a couple meetings, a couple phone calls, and it was real smooth. Working with the Forest Service has been fun. They're all very laid back, all very professional, and they do a great job. For this area, we will come back out, close off the entrances that we've made, and we will just continue to monitor it and let these trees grow.